all 6 stones, I could simply snap my fingers. They would all cease to exist. I call that mercy.
Being a common enemy to almost all superheroes in the Marvel Universe, Thanos is easily one of the most vicious, ruthless, and bloodthirsty villains. He is feared by most, and worshipped by many. He is a mad titan who aims to obliterate half of all species in a bid to stabilize the universe. How was Thanos born? How did he get his strength? How many battles has he won? His relationship with death is said to be quite toxic, as he would do all possible to earn her favor. Did that impress his dearest lover? Let's find out. Thanos, alias the genocidal warlord, was birthed to Sui-san and Eternal's Alars on Saturn's moon Titan. Oceanus and Uranus are grand families. He is Zura's nephew, a grandson to Kronos, and a brother to the Eternal Eros, who, by the way, ended up leaving Titan. He resembles the race of Alar's cousin by carrying the deviance gene, and that doesn't sit well with Sui-san, especially after believing that the world will come to ruin at Thanos' hands. While that is likely, Thanos had so much love for his people and couldn't just watch Titan face impending doom due to overpopulation. There weren't enough resources to feed the people who multiplied every passing day. To prevent the collapse of his planet, Thanos believed the best option was to split the population in half by ending the lives of the other half. If people were chosen randomly and killed, there would be enough food to feed the rest. But of course, the Titans didn't agree to such a suggestion, as they considered it genocidal and extreme. In fact, he faced banishment for his proposition. The Titans, however, were unable to come up with a solution to their predicament, which worsened and in the long run drove them to extinction, with Thanos the only survivor. On realization, Thanos concluded the same would happen to the universe and decided to carry out his initial plan, but this time on a larger scale. That is, slicing the world in half. Or, better put, killing half of all forms of life in the world. But how powerful is Thanos to even dream of bringing this to fruition? Before moving forward on his campaign to balance the universe, let's dive into Thanos' own strength. To the Titanian Eternals does Thanos belong, and they are, by far, stronger than the human race. However, Thanos is special, for he possesses a mutant gene that peaks his powers above regular Eternals. He is invulnerable, immortal, and boasts a surreal amount of stamina, speed, and strength. The amount of cosmic power he can take in and release is beyond imaginable. Telepathy, telekinesis, what? Name it, he is versed in high-end technology that is nothing but alien to the human world. He is basically a science guru and doesn't hesitate to put his knowledge into the design and creation of machines that aid his quests. Thanos doesn't depend on basic human needs for survival and is not limited by human afflictions like disease or old age. Psychic attacks don't work either. Being thoroughly groomed on war skills on his planet, his hand-to-hand combat is top-notch. He can switch between alternative universes, travel through time, and teleport. He has many space vessels within his reach, and his strategies are usually carefully mapped. Nonetheless, his powers are enough to have all life forms halved. He realized this, gave it a thought, and concluded the way out would be gathering all the Infinity Stones. These stones, the mind, space, reality, time, power, and soul stones, embody a huge amount of power which he believes is capable of providing just what he needs to fulfill his goal. He began his hunt for the stones and had to make different alliances in the process. Thanos allied with Ronan the Accuser, Loki, and also Gamora and Nebula, who he adopted. After a series of failures and betrayals, Thanos decides to find and acquire the stones by himself. He ensured the Infinity Gauntlet was created and traced the location of all the stones. When he was ready, he started an Infinity War. He started with Xandar, ended the lives of half Xandarians, and got the Power Stone. He tracked down the Asgardian, killed half of them, and tortured Loki almost to death, so his brother would hand over the Tesseract, which houses the Space Stone. While Loki feigned submission, he revealed the Hulk, who came out of his cover and attacked Thanos. Shocked and slow to prepare a counterattack, the Titan was crushed on the State Man's wall. But that was it. Thanos regained his balance and struck back. He overpowered Hulk by a wide margin and showed him how superior he was in all ramifications. Heimdall was able to muster enough power to send Hulk via the Bifrost Bridge to warn the Nine Realms about Thanos. After which, the Titan killed Heimdall by putting a blade through his heart and Loki by smashing his throat. In the end, he got the Space Stone. Thanos also got the Reality Stone at nowhere and placed it in the Infinity Gauntlet. To get the Soul Stone in Vormir, he had to sacrifice Gamora, his daughter whom he loved so much. Thanos went to his planet Titan for the Time Stone, where he met Doctor Strange, who questioned his quest to save humanity. Thanos didn't hesitate to explain, but after the conversation, he was attacked by Iron Man, Drax the Destroyer, Spider-Man, Star-Lord, Nebula, and Doctor Strange himself. On gaining composure, he overpowered them, and the Guardians of the Galaxy met their defeat. While it was an intense fight, Thanos later laid hands on the Time Stone, leaving only the Mind Stone in Wakanda. On his arrival in Wakanda, he faced the Guardians of the Galaxy, the Avengers, and Wakanda's army. While he stood alone, he was still vastly more powerful than his enemies, especially with his Infinity Gauntlet that houses 5 Infinity Stones. Black Panther, Captain America, and Bruce Banner were easily defeated. Okoye, Groot, and the Winter Soldiers also didn't stand a chance. On the other hand, the Scarlet Witch was too busy using her powers to shatter the Mind Stone. As Thanos approached, she used a large amount of power to stop him while still attempting to crush the stone. She succeeded and destroyed Vision in the process. However, Thanos wasn't done yet. He used his Time Stone to restore Vision as well as the Mind Stone and hit Wanda Maximoff as she tried to hinder him. Now all the stones had been placed in the Infinity Gauntlet, and it was time for the main deal. Before he could get the chance, Thor arrived and attacked him, reminding him of his promise to avenge his brother and Heimdall. He caused Thanos a severe injury, but that didn't stop the Titan. He amassed the energy of the Infinity Stones, snapped his fingers, and that was it. Half of all lives? Gone. The Marvel Comics story arc called Thanos' Win was a rather uncomfortable storyline. The future King Thanos used the Cosmic Ghost Rider to transport younger Thanos, who realized that he had killed all his enemies across the universe and in a destructive way. He discovered the future Thanos spared the Hulk's life and made him his pet dog. Disturbing is the fact that Thanos had him feed on Doc Ock, Nova, Ant-Man, Thor, Captain America, and all other enemies. Hulk was basically a garbage disposer, and when he saw younger Thanos, he asked him to kill Hulk. Thanos also saw that future King Thanos still yearns for Death's love, and that didn't sit right with him. Thanos had been in love with the Mistress of Death for so long and did a lot to impress her. While in the MCU, Thanos sought to wipe half of all life forms to restore balance, it wasn't really the case in the comics. Thanos was obsessed with death and wanted to kill all beings to get her affection. But she paid him no attention, which ignited his will to do more. When he acquired the Infinity Stones, he became very powerful and was going to kill half of all species for death. On realization, Death allied with many forces to stop Thanos and succeeded. Thanos accepted defeat and, funny enough, became a farmer. Thanos and Death made up and went apart over and over again, primarily due to the fact that Death only uses him for her goals and abandons him after. Death got together with Deadpool to make him jealous, and that worked. But in the long run, Thanos has had enough and decided to move on, which is why he is mad that the future Thanos is still in love. Thanos fell in love with nothingness and later Hela, Loki's daughter, the goddess of death. However, he dumped her to get together with Death again, but Gamora had him killed before that happened. His love story aside, while Thanos seems to be a sadist, megalomaniac, and a mad titan who sought dominion, that's not all there is to it. Thanos was traumatized by the extinction of his people and feared the same would happen to the universe if drastic steps were not taken. He had to sacrifice everything to achieve this, and that risked a huge amount of emotional instability. Anyway, let us know what you think in the comment section below, and if you enjoy this video, click on the next for another exciting piece of content.